Merchant from downtown. Good! John Merchant the third knocks down the three. Michael Hell slams it home. Good afternoon and welcome back to another edition of Greene on the Glass. I'm Scott Greene and we're back at Dowling College following the Golden Lions throughout the course of the season. Today I'm joined by Sarah Schicher from Vienna, Austria, 6'2" junior by way of Southern Connecticut. You came here 2 years ago, Sarah. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about your transition from coming from international basketball to American basketball.
Yeah, I came here 2 years ago, 2.5, and everything was very, very different. Everything was a big transition, just being away from my family, like basically knowing nobody here. And it was good that I played basketball, so like I had a group of friends already, and my coach really looked after me, so that was helpful. But really, every part of my life changed.
In what way? Let's take it from a personal aspect. Obviously, you left your family and your friends from Austria, and you decided to come over to the United States, and you went over to Southern Connecticut
Yeah.
for your first year. What type of changes did you have to make personally to make those adjustments?
When I grew up, I was pretty sheltered, and just being here by myself, I just had to basically grow up really fast and learn to take care of myself, figure out solutions for my own problems. I couldn't just call up my mom and be like, "Mom, fix this for me, please," anymore. So that was probably the biggest personal change, just growing up really fast.
And what about from an athletic perspective? How do you compare basketball at the international level to basketball at the American level and even at Division II basketball?
Here, basketball kind of really counts. So if you're an athlete, people look at you different. They really appreciate what you do. In Austria, if you play basketball, it's like a spare time activity. It's like nice, you hang out with your friends, you play basketball, but it's not as professional as it is here. I've never had like trainers and a whole training room. I had to pay for my own tape. I've never had somebody fill up my water bottles for me. That was so weird for me that somebody would do that. All those things, just how professional it is here.
You feel like you have the royal treatment here, right?
I do.
People are doing things for you, and this is at the Division II level, of basketball. When you came over to play basketball, whether it was Southern Connecticut or right here at Dowling College, were the expectations that you had higher or lower than what they actually are, as far as the level of basketball?
Um, I I think I was pretty well prepared for how it was gonna be because there's a lot of American players in Austria, and I spoke to them a lot before I came here. And I was really skinny when I came here, and they told me it's gonna be physical. So I knew I was gonna have to go to the weight room and get used to like the physical level. So for that, I was pretty well prepared. So it was kind of what I expected.
Now, so you're saying that basketball in the United States is a lot more physical than basketball internationally, and it's kind of ironic. I cover the men's side also, and when I used to coach here at Dowling and recruited for Dowling basketball, we used to look at the international players because how physical they played. And
Really?
and they would come over to Dowling and they would compete at the Division II level, and they were getting fouls called on them that they would never have gotten overseas. So, they really look at it as a physical game. So you're really looking at two ends of the spectrum when you talk about men's basketball. And I'm sure you probably watched men's basketball in Austria as
Yeah.
well. So that's definitely something to look at. Now, your major is media communications, and what are your aspirations, and where do you want to go with that degree?
I would love to work in TV production, somewhere around TV, or go into public relations. And just being in New York, I would love to stay here because that's just the place to be if you want to work in that field. So I hope to get maybe a good internship or something, so I can put that on my resume.
Have you been to Manhattan much since you've been here in New York?
Yeah, I have. I
And,
love it.
and obviously, we're the fashion capital of the world, and I understand from one of your teammates that you have a lot of interest in fashion. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about how that came about.
I'm a basketball player, but I'm also a girly girl. I like to dress up. I like to do my hair. I like to go shopping, all that stuff. Really love doing that.
Well, that's great. That's fantastic. And let's talk about Coach Pelican. Coach Pelican and I go back about 25 years. I was his first freshman player when he came to Dowling back in 1986, right here on the men's side. If I was to ask Coach Pelicane about Sarah Schicher, what would he say about you?
Um, what I hope he would say about me is that he gave me a second chance, me coming here as a second chance, and that I used that second chance really, really well, and that I did everything that he expected me to do, and that I made him proud
Well, I'll
to
tell
be my
you,
coach.
when I spoke with him earlier, I asked him, what would you say about Sarah Schicher? And he pretty much, quote unquote, said she is absolutely a breath of fresh air. She wants to be successful. She will be successful, and that you are an absolute pleasure to coach. And he'd love to have many Sarah Schichler's, as he's had, in the past 25 years, coaching at Dowling College. And, we're glad that you're making this transition. Let's talk a little bit about the season right now. Kind of a roller coaster season thus far, 3-3 overall. I believe you are now 2-2 in the conference. Let's just take the last week in itself. You start out on Saturday by upsetting CW Post right here, which was a terrific win. They were number one in the conference, and you guys defeated them. And you go back to the locker room, you start preparing, and then you go up to Spark Hill, New York, to play St. Thomas Aquinas, another very good team, and didn't have too much success on Wednesday night. What does Coach Pelicane tell you after a game like that?
He tells us that he believes that we can be a very good team. And he also, like you said, he said it's a roller coaster right now, and we have to work on being the good team that we can be all the time. Not just one game a week, but every game that we play. And it's because we're very young. We're like a new team. We have not many returners, but we'll work on it and we'll get there, I'm sure.
And you guys are one of the youngest teams in the East Coast Conference. You have 7 freshmen, you have 3 sophomores, and 2 juniors. So now you come over to Dowling in your first year to play. You're looked at as a leader here. You have the experience, you're the older of the group, and people are going to look up to you and follow your lead. And are you up for that challenge?
I am. It's hard, but I'm up for it, and I hope I'll I'll succeed.
Well, we'll continue following you for the rest of the season, and we wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you.
And we want to thank everyone for joining us once again on Greene on the Glass. This week, Dowling College will take on the NE10 powerhouse, Pace University, here at Dowling College on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Tip-off. Listen to the game on ECC.TV. Or just click on to the Dowling Athletic website and click on webcast and view the game, and you'll hear myself live calling the game for Dowling College. And I'm Scott Greene, and we want to special thanks to Brian Sayas, our sports information director, as well as Anders Olson, our production guy and editing department. And thanks again for another week of Greene on the Glass, and we'll tune in next week. Have a great day.